All right. This is going to be part 16 of the All Skills tutorial series. This time we're going to be going over how to get to Shade Cloak as well as Abyss Shriek. Last time we went through Dark Deepnest and we are now waking up in Beast Den. So as you wake up, your strat to leave will depend on whether or not you did the Descending Dark. If you did the Descending Dark, you are going to wake up here with no soul left. So you're going to want to go right, go through the breakable floor here, dash jump over this Devout. If it backs up like that, there's not much you can do. You just have to take the damage and continue. Overall, though, health is not such a big deal in this split, so I wouldn't worry about it. As you get past, you're going to dash over, inventory drop, dash, dash, and then do a small inventory drop as you exit, and dash out. Now, if you did the inventory drop and still have 3 hits of soul left over, which I will give myself now, you are going to want to wake up and immediately dash left. Line yourself up with this little tick on the ceiling, because that's how close you need to be for a Dream Nail. After that, it's the same as before, just Descending Dark, Shade Soul, and continue on. From here, it's just exiting the same way we did before. So, couple dashes, inventory drop at the end, and then dashing out. As you reach here, it's just going to be using our wings to get to Distant Village Stag as fast as possible. And then here is our last instance of the look down strat. If you're wondering how to do that, go back to the King Station video. But very briefly, it's just hitting yes and then immediately holding down, and the gate should open faster than usual. After that, we're going to have a short chat with the stag, and then if you are playing on Chinese, Hidden Station is 1 down. Every stag in this category is either 1 up or 1 down, so that's a good way to remember it. From here, if you took damage, you can safety bench here, but for the most part, if you feel comfortable enough, just crystal dash through. Health isn't too big of a deal unless you get hit multiple times by the siblings. Now we're going to make our way down to the Abyss with a couple dashes and an inventory drop here. So there's a strat, barely if at all a time save here, called Swag Door. I'm going to explain that briefly to get through here, but if you're not comfortable with it, you can just dash through this Abyss door as usual. So you slam into the door, dash over here, line yourself up with this wall, and then release, and you should go through the door as soon as it opens. Once again, if you're not comfortable, just dash through as normal. You can also get a weird wall clang storage, but everything's about the same speed here. After that, dash here so you land on the platform. And now we're going to line ourselves up with the edge of this route with a dash inventory drop. Once we hit the ground, dash, and dash into the side of that platform, and you should reach the bottom, like so. From there, Crystal Heart over. Make sure to end it before you hit these Void Tendrils. And then from here, it's just wings and dash until you reach the exit. All right, so coming up is the sibling Lighthouse climb. We're going to crystal dash from right here, and immediately there's going to be 2 siblings that can kind of be in our way, but for the most part, we just want to pogo and continue climbing as much as possible, even if we tank 1 or 2 hits of damage, because once we reach Shade Cloak, we are going to get fully healed. So as long as we can get into the Lighthouse, nothing else matters. So I'm going to show this maybe a couple times, but crystal dash over, and these 2 can both be in your way. So just keep climbing, keep pogoing as much as you need to. 1 hit like that is really not such a big deal, as long as you reach the Lighthouse like so. Because once you enter and hit the lever, you'll see that all of the shades are gone. So let's look at that one more time and then move on. So again, these first 2 can really be in your way. If you're really worried about it, you can drop down. like I did there. And then from there, just dash pogo, jump pogo, anything you need to get to the lighthouse safely and quickly. From here, just enter, hit the lever as soon as possible, and leave. Here, you're going to dash, jump, and then as soon as you clear the edge of this platform, which typically is done just with a dash, like so, you dash off here, jump, and dash. You'll fall all the way to the bottom where you can immediately crystal dash. You're going to cross this void lake, come up here, and do another crystal dash. So now we're coming up to Shade Cloak, where we are actually going to, as soon as we get into the void pool, we're going to quit out. As like the second you land, your character is going to start an animation, and you save, I believe it's roughly like 10 seconds by just the second you hit it, quit out, and then re-enter your game, and you'll end up down here. So you're going to be coming over, and then you hit the ground. You can see the little animation my character's in, and you just quit out. You'll simply quit back in, and then as soon as you're loading back in, you want to start mashing or just pressing the dream nail key until you hear your dream nail animation go off. What this will do is it'll give you early control over your character as you load back into the game. So you heard it there, and now I'm pressing dash to get over. And this lets me leave as soon as possible. So you're going to just time your dashes properly so you get through these tendrils with Shade Cloak. Then come over here and crystal dash your way out. For the most part, you can just let everything run. Just let your crystal dashes go until they stop, and then continue up and start a new one. So we'll stop here, climb here, and then another crystal dash. This one you want to cancel a little bit earlier, so you land on this platform, and then you can dash over here, and then 2 more dashes land you at the perfect spot to continue. From here, you can either cancel your crystal dash or slam into this wall, and then it's just 3 jumps and dashes, 1, 2, 3, and you can start 1 more. So as you enter here, you're going to charge your nail art and do a dash slash followed by 2 nail hits in order to kill this crawler. You need these 3 hits because those are the 3 hits of soul you're going to use to do a Howling Wraiths and get your Abyss Shriek. So you're going to crystal dash until you hit this wall, dash to anywhere here. It can't be this upper platform because there's a crawler in your way, but either of these lower 2. After that, crystal dash over, and as soon as you're anywhere close to the room, you can cancel and do your Howling Wraiths. And just like that, we have picked up our biggest damage dealing spell, Abyss Shriek. This is almost entirely what we're going to be using against the final boss, THK, the Hollow Knight. I'm probably going to continue the video just because that was so short. We immediately crystal dash back until we reach here, and then there's a crystal dash here on this wall. It's a little finicky because there's a crawlid on the ceiling. So what we're going to do is, this is a little bit of like getting used to the proper height, but you fall down so you're a little bit lower than max height. If you're too high, you'll run into this guy right here. So you want it a little bit lower than max height, so you just go under it, but over this lip. Then you want to cancel your crystal dash as soon as you enter this next transition. So up next is the Abyss Climb. There's a lot of different strats. Basically just pick whatever's comfortable. You can like make it as fast or as safe as you'd like. I'm just going to talk about each part individually and go through it. So generally how it looks is this. People enter, wall jump off here, and then one way or another climb up here. You can either pogo those spikes or just do some wall jumps. Get up to this platform. Here's the first instance of where you can make things a little bit harder. The safe strat would be to go through here and around, but there's a relatively easy pogo you can do if you dash into here and then either pogo off of this crawler or off of those spikes. Alternatively, apparently you can just hit that wall jump. So just like this. And then you can, here you can go around like this, or you can go underneath to here and do something like that. Alternatively, if going around these spikes is threatening, you can climb around here and go up here. Here's another pretty simple one. If you jump up so that you're relatively close to the spikes, you can skip going around to the left. Here I'd say is the main part where things can get a little bit difficult. If you're new, I recommend going over here and climbing up like this. However, if you want to go a little bit faster, you can do this. It'll be jump dash wings up to that spike cluster over there, and then three pogos off of those spikes to climb up like that. So you can try that out. If it's fine for you, then go for it. If it's too tough, I recommend just going around. Then once you reach here, you can jump up there. If you realize you wall jump too low and you're not going to make it, so if you're down here, you can pogo off here and then still make it over. And then the end, just climb in whatever way is most comfortable for you. Then once you reach the end, you want to climb over here and then climb up. On this entire climb, I'd say route your climb so that you get at least 3 hits of soul. If you want, 2 of those hits can be from these 2 crawlers at the end, but get at least 1 hit along the way. I'm going to briefly go over my version of the climb as a faster, riskier climb example for those people who want to optimize their climb. I'd say it's pretty easy to just invest some time and get some time save out of it with just a little bit of like working on the harder strats, so it's not too bad. That being said, be careful with riskier climbs because dunking into spikes does lose a considerable amount of time. Tanking damage from crawlids is not so bad, but spikes specifically lose you a good chunk of time. I'm not going to go over the specifics too much, but it'll look the same for the most part other than optimized wall climbs and spike pogos, such as that first one, then this one, which I talked about earlier, and then once again this spike fixture. So roughly like that is what a good climb looks like. After that, collect the rest of your soul and make your way out. So that's the Abyss climb. After that, all that's left is to defeat the Hollow Knight and win the game, or get the bad end technically. But we're gonna exit the way we came, going across Palace grounds and doing one final stag trip, which is 1 down to Dermot. From here, exit as before, and then similar to on our way to Umo, we just Crystal Heart into the well. From here, charge your nail art once again. This time it's going to be Great Slash to entirely cancel your fall, so you can then dash wings over to this spot for your Crystal Heart. This will line you up perfectly to stop at the Black Egg Temple and open it up. So this upcoming fight it can get a little bit risky, but only if you're trying to go fast. If you're taking it safe, you should never really be in danger from this fight. So as the egg opens, you can head on in. If you really need it, if you took a lot of damage on the climb, definitely take this safety bench for the full heal. You don't, however, have to do this because as you enter the fight, it'll auto-bench you on this bench. So even if you die, it's not such a big deal. So here we are at the THK fight. This fight is not too bad in terms of difficulty, but it gets rather damage tank heavy because we're using Shriek a lot, which requires us to be close to the boss. That being said, if you're ever in trouble, just spam more D-Dark and you should be able to survive just fine. There's also plenty of chances to heal in this fight. So as we enter, it just takes 4 hits for each of the chains. This is nothing big. And then we're going to use this 3 hits of soul that we got at the beginning to shriek immediately. After that, I might pause at some points, but for the most part, it's just going to be following to build up soul and then use shriek as much as possible. You also have Shade Cloak to make avoiding any attacks easier. Counter is the main time loss for this fight, similar to Hornet. But as long as you can stay close and like not hit the counters, your time loss shouldn't be too bad. Once you get to the stabbing attack, this is your main chance to heal as much as you feel comfortable with, and then build up soul. The main important thing for this stabbing attack is, while it's going on, don't use any of your big spells. Don't use Shriek, don't use Shade Soul or D-Dark. And that's because any damage you deal currently is locked to 1 damage. So if you use all your big spells, they'll do essentially nothing, compared to the usual 120 from Shriek. That being said, this is your perfect chance to heal and build up soul, so that once THK does fall down, you can output tons of shrieks and damage. So once again, just follow as best as you can. For this attack, if it lasts longer, it's pretty good because you can just shriek a ton. And then once you get the final shriek, THK is very close to dying, like so. If you get the bouncing attack like I did, or you get the infection bullet hell attack, they're actually very good because so long as you're willing to tank a little bit of damage, you can spam out shrieks, which sometimes lets you skip that final shriek, which is actually a lot of time save. So we're going to enter again. I need to bring back my HUD. So I'm going to go over this fight just a couple times, but for the most part, if it gets dangerous, just go for more Descending Dark, or if you feel in trouble, heal once you get to the self-stabbing attack, and then just follow and use Shriek as much as possible. You can play this fight however risky or however safe you'd like. It's a relatively nice fight in terms of that. So, dash, follow. The dash attack is the one you want to see the least of, because it puts THK far away, which avoids the shrieks. You want to avoid triggering the counters as much as possible, because they give hit lag and also means you're not doing any damage. But as you can see, just like that, we're already at the self-stabbing again. So you can just build up soul, and then use tons of shrieks again. So this attack, as you can see, I skipped the final scream entirely, just because I was able to output so much damage during the bullet hell attack. So let's do this fight a couple more times, and then we have officially finished the game and finished the category. So yeah, in terms of the counter itself, there's not much you can do. If you react to it before hitting it, you just have to wait it out. If you do hit it, you luckily have Shade Cloak, so you can dash through THK to avoid it entirely. If we get the slamming attack, I can try to show a general damage rotation on it, but for the most part, this is a fight that you can take however you'd like. So there, I saw the counter and just waited it out. And then there, I actually hit it, so I had to dash through. Then once again, here I typically like to have at least 3 health. I can't actually heal because of save states, but once again, with this attack, if you're comfortable with damage tanks, you can go for it. This time, I didn't do enough damage to get the Scream skip, so I'm just going to have to output enough damage after the fact. So, once again, that's the fight. Let's do it one more time, and then that will be it for the tutorial series. in that fight, I tried to show a little bit. Basically, just get hits of soul where you can on the slam attack, and then do some shrieks. If you take some hits, like, that's kind of expected with the slam attack, so make sure you have enough health if you're going to do that. Also, if you get the bullet hell attack and you're low health, just try to survive. That's way more important than outputting damage. So there, I was kind of forced to tank some damage just because I was trying to do as much optimal damage as possible. That's kind of how this fight goes, is sometimes you're just forced to take damage if you're trying to go fast. And then here, I don't personally think I need to heal here, so I'm just going to build up soul until he falls down. So in this case, I had already dealt so much damage that the final phase was basically here. Once you get the final hit and THK is dying, just wait till the camera pans to you a little bit, and then you can start focusing. If you have any extra soul left for spells, I would say spam it out so that it doesn't affect your timing for the focus. Then once you see the final cutscene, that will be time, and you will have completed all skills for Hollow Knight. This was my first tutorial series, so it can definitely use some work, and I will probably come back to improve it later. But if you were here for any part of it, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to ask any questions once again in the Hollow Knight Discord, because everyone's super nice there and super open to answering any questions. I'm sure there's stuff I missed in this tutorial series, so if anything's confusing, you'd like to offer some suggestions or complaints, of course, feel free to just direct them to me directly on the Hollow Knight Discord. Thank you again for watching.